Hello. Now we are going to install GitLab Community Edition server. Okay, so let's do this. First of all, it's good to check the environment requirements for the GitLab. So basically 8 GB RAMs, 4 vCPUs, I mean virtual CPUs, and 40 GB of disk space is enough. So we are going to get into this machine and we are checking this. So first of all, we are checking the RAM and we have 8 GB of RAM. It shows a 7.8, but that is okay. And then we are going to check LS CPU, and that is interesting. LS CPU is not found. So I have to install additional tools. Not found. So I'm going to check this. LSPCI also. I'm checking this. Not found. That is interesting. PCI utils probably. So sudo apt sudo su, sorry. Also not found. And so like that. Okay, so first of all, apt update. We are going to do some additional steps. So first of all, apt remove purge nano and ampersand double apt install on vim and PCI utils. Okay, I would like to. I wish. Okay, LS CPU, and you see I'm using nodes from 0 to 3, so I have 4 cores. I mean, I have 4 CPUs. Actually, I have 2 sockets and 2 cores per socket. Okay, so this is fine. And DFH, I have 20% in use, and you can see 6.1, but the whole file is set up in the Proxmox, the vmdk file for the machine, for the virtual machine is set as 40 GB. That's fine, and it will increase in time until it will get the threshold, but it doesn't matter in this case. Okay, so the requirements are met. So now it's good to understand some things, that we need to have an additional disk for GitLab, right? It's good to have a separate OPT partition. So if you will do this, sorry, like that, you can see I'm using GitLab vgtmp var home, and I can also create a OPT partition cfds, and you can see I should be able to see I have this, so there is no free space. Okay, we'll quit this, but if I will do pvs, and I can see I have a 8 GB free VGS and LVS, right? So you can see exactly how much data I have. So I can try to create a volume and assign it. Eventually I can add the amount disk as db additionally, but that is a good idea. So what I'm going to do now, I will add a separate partition to this. So first of all, I need to get into the Proxmox. So let me check this. I log there, and I will be able to make it work. Right? just give me a second. I'm going to log into the Proxmox and we will continue the okay, and the browser. And now we are in the box. So I will do this and I will turn off the GitLab now. So just give me a second. system.cl power off. Okay. Going back to the browser, Proxmox. I will wait for the GitLab. You can see here the console. And now I can add the hardware. So add hard disk. And I need about, let me check, 100, maybe not. I will, it depends on your requirements or your needs actually. Usually I'm doing about 120 gigabytes, but this is only for some kind of testing purpose. So I will create 60 gigabyte disk for the GitLab. And this is an additional space actually for the GitLab data directory. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing this and I'm adding it. Now we have two disks, disk 0 and disk 1 here. One is 40 and the second is 60, right? You can see the format file is qcow2, but that is fine. Not vmdk, but qcow. It's from the QEMU. Okay, so now we need to start the machine. We'll go to the console and we will see it is starting. Here we go. Welcome to grab, and now the machine is up and running and it's quickly running. Lovely. So we are going back to the CLI. We will log into this machine once again. Here we go. And now sudo, su, like that. And by the way, I will install sudo apt install sudo. Some people prefer not to install sudo but switch only to root, and it's more secure than using sudo actually, and I understand it, but for convenience I will use sudo. So vsudo now, and you can see if there is a sudo or all, and I can add the user to sudo group. So user mode g sudo Adrian, and now id Adrian, and my user is in sudo group here 27. Okay, so going log out, connect once again, sudo I. Now the password for my user, not for the root, and one more time. Lovely. Okay, so the host name I shows us 111 at the end. Okay, so we know the IP address. This is the crucial thing. Okay, so now fdisk list, and we can see we have also dev mapper, blah 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 blah, dev mapper, but we have this something like SDA, and we have also SDB 60 gigabytes, but it's not formatted. So fdisk the SDB, like that. Command M for help. We want to create a new disk, so it will be new primary partition number 1, first sector, last sector, print Linux. We can change the value, so it will be T. L2 alias L. LVM, it will be 8E, so 8E, hex the code, and P, you can see Linux LVM as DB1. And then write and partprobe, and dev as DB. Partprobe not found, that is interesting. Let me check the installation. apt install parted. Okay. Yes, please. And now partprobe and db1. That is okay. You don't have to worry about this. And now pvs. And okay, add a physical disk to the I need to create a physical volume for this, so we'll do this pvcreate because we create, and it will be dev as db1. Created, lovely. And now pvs should show us that we have a db1 added here, right? SDA5 GitLab VG is for this, but we need to create a virtual group now. So then we need to create a VG group, virtual group. So we need to find out how to create a virtual group for this. And let me check. It will be vgcreate, and it should be GitLab something like data, but it would be maybe small GitLab data, right? Okay, and oh sorry, and dev as db1. And now pvs shows that the dev as db1 is assigned to GitLab data, and vgs will show that we are using, and we have 360 gigabytes. So that is okay. Next steps is to create logical volume in this GitLab data volume group. Logical volume will be easier. So we need to understand how to create this logical volume inside this group, right? So we can do this. LV create logical volume. Then we need to provide a name. It will be GitLab data, like that, and minus small l, dash l, and 103. I want to use this whole space, 60 gigabytes, and now we need to provide a VG group. So GitLab data. So if you want to change, but it's good. Logical volume created. And now if you will do LVS, you can see there is a home root and swap tmp and var belongs to GitLab VG, but GitLab data belongs to GitLab data volume group. Right? GitLab data logical volume belongs to GitLab data volume group. And LV display should allow us to see the configuration. And that is okay. And if I will scroll up, you can see each GitLab swap var root, and you can see GitLab data, LV name, VG name. You can see UID. Excellent. So now there is a problem because we need to create file system on this. So mkfs, because I will do this, kth, you can see we are using ext4 for this volume, logical volumes. So, and we do not see GitLab GitLab data here. Why? Just because the file system is not created. So mkfs dot ext4 and then dev, and it will be GitLab data. One more time, GitLab data, because the first one is a volume group, and this is a volume group, and this is a logical volume name. Okay, and hit enter, and you can see it's allocated all the space. And now if you will do this, you should see the logical volume, but I do not see it. That is interesting. Okay, I know what to do. We need to mount it. So blkid and dev vg GitLab data. Okay, you can see there is a UID, so it's good to copy the UID like that. Ctrl+Shift+C, then VM etc fstab, and now we need to add this. Eventually we can use UID like it's done here, or we can use the dev mapper GitLab like this. Okay, so let's switch to this and we can try to find out. I will quit it now and we'll go to the dev mapper. So cd dev mapper, and we will list all those things, and you can see there is a GitLab data, right? Something like that. So we can copy this, and now vim etc fstab, and go there and add this like that. And now dev mapper like that, GitLab data, and now it should be mounted as data GitLab, right? So we'll use it as a mount point data like it is. Then we need to use ext4 format and defaults. And now for home directory is 02 for tmp var, so we will use the same value 0, 2, and that is all. Right? And now if we will quit, escape, com and x to save it, and we will use mount -a, mount point does not exist. So cd like that, and you can see there is no data. So mkdir data, just like that. And now once again mount a, and it will mount the data as it is. And if you will see, if you will leave mount, you can see that dev mapper GitLab data is mounted on data, and df should show now the dev mapper GitLab data is mounted on data, right? Why we did it? Because we then will use the configuration inside of the GitLab. Okay, so this is something that we had to do. Then we will do some different things. We need to update now and upgrade if needed, and then we need to install apt install something. URL vim open SSH server, CA certificates. We also need to install Postfix, Postfix and mail utils, and also it's good to install GNU PG package, Debian archive keyring will be needed later, and also apt transport HTTPS. Okay, go, it's installing. Okay, no configuration for now. Eventually we can use local only. Local only is fine, GitLab local is okay. We will configure Postfix later. And now it's installing all those packages. Okay. Okay, then update CA certificates, updating, lovely. Then one more time, configure the postfix vim etc postfix main cf file, and we are looking compatibility level should be leave as it is. Then mail owner, there is no mail owner, so shift G O and mail owner postfix like that. And also we are using set git group post drop like that below, and then init interface, it will be localhost, and init protocols all as it is, and then we need to add my domain, and it will equal gitlab.local, and my destination is here, so instead of this you can delete this, and localhost dot and use $my domain like that. And now relay host is empty, but you need to understand one thing. Relay host is the FQDN, fully qualified domain name, or IP address of the web server. If mail server, sorry. If the mail server is installed on the same server where web server like Apache or Nginx is installed, so the FQDN will be the same. So in our case, it will be gitlab.local. But imagine the situation where there is a configuration that is divided into two separate servers. A web server with, for example, GitLab server1.com and mail second server mail.server1.com, for example. Server 1 is a main domain. So relay host should be set to the mail server. Okay, and that is okay. And now my domain is different. My domain is different than relay host, right? My domain is actually a domain of the computer where GitLab is installed, so the web server, because GitLab is using Nginx server. Okay, I hope I explained it. So this is the server where GitLab is installed, and relay host is a mail server. If they are on the same server, then the address is the same. Okay, so this is it, and then it's good to add one thing. unknown local recipient reject code. So like that. And then we can choose, we need to check alias maps and database, and hash etc aliases is okay. So this we will leave as it is. And the whole configuration should look like that. And yeah. And now, if we will save it and we will restart the postfix, it should work. And then what we need to do, we need to test the configuration. I will just provide you an example of how to do that, and you will be able to make it work on your own. We'll do this like that. Echo, this is mail from suname A, mail as that from suname N, admin, cannot send matches. Okay, cannot send it because if we will do to the gitlab.local, okay, that is fine. Apt install mail utils is installed. So actually, root localhost. Probably there is something wrong with the configuration in the Postfix. Let me check this. This is okay. GitLab local is okay. My origin. And we can eventually change it to like that, or eventually my domain will be local gitlab.local, and we can eventually change it to the mail GitLab local, and we can try this. We will restart the postfix. You can try to, and now it's working. Okay, so that's how it looks like. So this is the way we configure the postfix. And okay, now we need to do one simple thing. We need to define the ID and the variable for OS equals Debian and distribution bullseye, because we are using the Debian 11 bullseye, so it is set. And now we need to do this. We need to CURL to, and you can see we are using the variable like that, and we will display now the list like that, and you can see keyring is different, but that is fine. And we'll do this in a moment. What we need to do now, we need to download the GPG key, you can see, and it goes to the etc apt trusted GPG did GitLab CE like that. Lovely. And now you need to edit this file and change this value signed by GPG and same here to the directory where I downloaded the GPG keys. So that let's get window and insert here, yeah, the square bracket here before the square bracket. and save it. And if we will cut it once again, you can see it in etc ap3 trust.d, because what I did, I told to CRL to get the GPG key to download them and download them into this directory. And of course, it can be different directory, but I did it this way. And now you can see that I'm using this way. I'm using this command to download. Why I didn't use this command? I mean apt key add. Well, just because apt key is flagged as deprecated. So because it is deprecated, we are not using it anymore, but instead we are using it this way. Lovely. So now it's good to perform update. So apt update. And you can see now it's downloading packages from GitLab CE Debian Bullseye in release and main, right? So packages are signed, there is no error. And now we can install GitLab CE. So apt install GitLab CE, right? And now it's downloading into the system. Lovely. Lovely. So the GitLab is installed, but this is not everything. I mean, we need to generate some keys for GitLab. So what we have to do actually is to create some directory inside of the GitLab directory, and we will be able to make it work. So first of all, we need to do a few things like that. Okay, so what we have to do is to get into the directory cd etc gitlab, right? And inside of it, you can see only a gitlab.rb file that we are going to configure in a moment. But first of all, we'll create, for example, SSL directory. So mkdir, and SSL directory. And go into the SSL directory. And inside of it, we can create keys like that. Open SSL, generate RSA key out, and name of the key GitLab key, 2048 bits generated. Then do this. I'm copying because it's easier for me and I'm not making any mistake. Open SSL request and request the key, and now new out, it will be CSR file. And now you can provide country, PL, state of province, my city, organization name, it will be GitLab, and organization GitLab, and common name 10.10.0.119, because we are using our IP address as fully qualified domain name, or you can use your name, but I am using IP address. And now the rest admin at it can be even this admin info pl, and this is the correct email address, so you can write at it and I will receive email, and that's all. And at the end, what we need to do, we need to create a CRT file, so you can see it is done, signature is okay, and pl lot gitlab gitlab cn 10.10.0.19 and first name ctl I first name I, sorry, yeah, 10.10.0.119. Lovely. So this is it. And what we need to do, we need to go back and level up here, and we need to edit this gitlab.rb file. And we need to scroll a little bit down, and we are using this HTTP, and here is important information S. And now 10.10.0.119, and it is good to then find out what we need to do more. I mean, we need to perform some steps before we will get into the environment, and we will be able to run the, to get into the GitLab, into the environment, and we will be able to use GitLab. So I'm going to check next thing, but just need to find out one thing. Should it be a slash at the end or not? Just give me a second, and I'm going to check this, and I will find out. 1 second, and I will figure it out. And I need some time. No, there should not. It should be as it is, so that is okay. Okay, so the next step is to actually change the default data storing directory. So we need to find the value git data tiers, right? So escape slash and look for the git data tiers, and then n to look for this and uncomment it. But now this is the crucial step. Now we need to understand one thing. Do you remember when we were creating a data directory, this logical volume manager, in logical volume manager? Yes, we were doing it. So what we need to do, actually, we need to change this like that. And then at the end, we need to add git And well, I will save it in a moment. cd data plus h, and you can see if I will go up, you can see the whole configuration. Lovely. So okay, vim etc on GitLab and GitLab.rb file. So yeah, this is it. That is why we were creating 60 gigabytes path for the data git. And you can see this is the data storing directory for GitLab. Right? You can also set up Amazon S3 storage if you want to, but we did it this way. Lovely. Now we can find out where is the location of Git user email and something like that. And here we go. And lovely. And we can delete it this way, and Git user email will be GitLab, and GitLab like node.kdn, we can leave it as it is, or we can change it. And you can use something like even admin.gitlab.local or example domain com, something like that. So actually it depends on you how you will use it. And eventually you can do this if you wish to, and you can change this thing, right? So, but I'm leaving it as it is. And then you need to look for GitLab email from, and like that, and also comment it out. Here we go. And there's 3. So email from, and it can be something like GitLab, GitLab local, or a root GitLab local. Example, it will be GitLab, or can be GitLab local. I mean, you can do this. This is if you really want to use emails inside the GitLab. But this is only available if you have a mail server, so you have to use it only then. Okay, so I'm looking for the nginx now. And lovely. And one more thing, I'm looking this. Yeah, GitLab nginx. So I need to comment out this, and comment out this. Enable is true. Then HTTP to HTTPS should be true, not false. And port 80 we will leave as it is. And now SSL certificate for those two. And comment 1 and 2. And etc GitLab SSL, but instead of this, we will use it like that. GitLab CRT and GitLab key. Right? Because we created in etc GitLab the directory SSL, and we have GitLab key and GitLab CRT file there. And that is all actually, and we can of course check it. So cd etc GitLab, and we will list it. And if we will go to this directory, we can see we have GitLab CRT, CSR, and key. Excellent. So cd like that. And now systemctl start and GitLab, and it's not able to see the configuration. So what you have to do is just to use GitLab CTL configure. And you can use help to be able to see what you can do actually. You can see something like reconfigure, cleans, upgrade, reset, password, a lot of. So first of all, check config. So we will check config. So let me see this. It was in the beginning. Check config. Okay, so check config, because we need to be sure that the configuration is okay. You can see JSON file with existing configuration not found inside opt GitLab embedded nodes. That is interesting. The question is, cd opt cd GitLab. There should be a JSON file here. Embedded node, cd GitLab cd embedded. Yes, cd node, and there is no node configuration here, so we will not do this. Okay, so we can try to GitLab CTL and configure and reconfigure. Yeah. And you can see now it's doing the job. It's reconfiguring the whole GitLab configuration. Okay. Lovely. Now you can see it is installed. So we will check the status only. System ctl status and the GitLab. And you can see it's running. So if we will go to the browser, you can see it's trying to open using HTTPS protocol 10.10.0.119. So click Advanced and open the website. And it's okay. And now I will go back to the CLI and scroll up a little bit. And this is information. Here we go. Default admin account has been configured with the following details. Username root. You didn't opt in to print initial or password to std out. So password is stored here in etc initial or password. So we will check it. Cat. And you can see there is a password, right? Cat etc git initial password. I will show you once again. It'll be easier for you to see this. Cat etc GitLab initial root password, and there is a password. So it's very important to copy this password and put it into the GitLab, right? So it will be root because the root user. It's not the root from the operating system. It's the root for the GitLab and the initial password. And click sign in. Now it should log in. Click to deactivate, check your sign up restrictions. And we can click only this. And eventually, if you would like to switch to hard, scroll down a little bit and save changes. Now it's changed. And now what you need to do is good to change the password for the root. So go to the preferences, and here on the left side you have passwords, and here you can change. So it's good to put the current password, the one you copied, and put the new password. It should be longer, but save my password. And now, not now, I'm going to log in my password. Excellent, lovely. There is also a different method to find out, and we are going to do this to find out how to change the password in command line, right? We're going to find out this. So how to do that? Okay, so what we need to do actually, we need to use some option like GitLab rake, GitLab password reset. I'm going to present it on the screen. So now if you will cut this, there is still this password, so it's good to go here and password and just remove it and have only this initial or password. And if you will go to the GitLab, do not remove it, please. And you can see the password is deleted. Excellent. So go back to the root directory. Lovely. And we will use the command gitlab-rake. And here we go. GitLab password and reset, like that. And now we have to wait a little bit, and it will ask us to provide a user that we created in user. In this case, only a root user has been created in GitLab. So we will provide username root, and we will change the password for the root, and I will use a different password. Okay, so root and the password, a new one. successfully changed. Okay, I'm going back to the GitLab actually, and here we go. Sir, and I will use a new password. And that's it. The password had been changed, and actually there is no need to restart the GitLab server. I mean the GitLab service or the whole virtual machine. No, you are using only one command, and you can change the password for each user that is registered inside the GitLab. And if you will go to the preferences, and you can see there is an account, profile name, but if you would like to add a new user, so you have to click on this hamburger menu, 3 horizontal lines, select admin, and here you have users, you have groups, so you can add users here, like that. Okay, so I can create a new user, and I will add a name, Adrian, and it can be name and surname, username Adrian, and username and Adrian, something like example.com. It can be changed anytime, or Adrian GitLab local, something like that. And regular user, he can be an administrator, or you can see users have access to their groups and projects. External, validate user account. By inputting credit debit card, you can see, or an admin can manually validate a user. Yes, free CI minutes and shutdown. That's interesting. Avatar, blah blah blah. There are things, but you can create users as it is. There is no password here. Create a user, and the user is created. And now you can see information tokens, identities, SSH keys, groups and projects, account, like that. And you can see two-factor is disabled, user is verified automatically, and yeah, that is okay. So if I will, but the question is, what about the password? Because I don't know how to make it work. So I'll try to log out, and I will try to log in. The password, and the password should be sent via the email to the user, and I should receive the password. But I'm going to log in, and there is to the admin section and to the users, and I go to the username, and you can see block, deactivate, ban user, or edit the user. Account password, and now you can set the password here. So I can do that, and I can send the password to a user, or I can use a CLI command gitlab break to change the password. Okay, save changes. Not now. Log out. Now we'll try to log in. We go, current password and new password, right? So this is good idea. Something like that, set a new password. And I should be able to log in, and you can see there is no admin section, and I'm a regular user. Lovely. So this is the whole configuration, I mean, the very basic configuration for now. And later in next video, we will see how to connect GitLab to the Jenkins and how to make it work, and how to connect it also with the Docker server, and how to run tests. I mean, how to create a Docker container, and after that, actually how to connect everything together to make it work to run the test inside the Docker container. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day or night. Bye bye. Take care.